Summary of the news.
A hospital consultant accused of attempting to murder a terminally ill patient has been found guilty. Dr. Nigel Cox was charged with the attempted murder of Mrs. Lillian Boys at the Royal Hampshire County Hospital. The jury returned a majority verdict of 11-1 at Winchester Crown Court. Dr. Cox was released on bail and will be sentenced on Monday. The judge made it clear he will not be given an immediate custodial sentence.
Dr. Nigel Cox refused to make any comments as he left Winchester Crown Court after being found guilty. There were tense emotional scenes as the jury returned its verdict after 8 hours of deliberation. Several women members of the jury were crying. Dr. Cox, a consultant rheumatologist at the Royal Hampshire County Hospital in Winchester, had admitted injecting 70-year-old Lillian Boys with potassium chloride. But he maintained his intention was simply to relieve the pain and suffering of a dying friend and patient. The judge, Mr. Justice Ognall, said in the exceptional circumstances of the case, he was not considering sending Dr. Cox to prison. He said he would sentence the consultant on Monday morning.
Finance ministers from the world's 7 leading industrial nations will shortly begin talks in Washington. The row between Britain and Germany over the exchange rate mechanism and a call for lower German interest rates will be high on the agenda. Here, Conservative MPs have been debating Britain's future in Europe.
In the hiatus before the French referendum, the political debate for and against European Union continues. At a conference in London, MPs and academics took up their opposing positions.
I think the important thing is to reflect that the events of this week have given the British people and government a unique opportunity to go for freedom, to cut interest rates, to be free of German economic domination.
It's very important for us to draw up stronger united currency arrangements, leading eventually to a single currency that means that we're not at the mercy of such vicious speculators in the future.
Norman Lamont's blaming Germany for undermining the ERM, and in Washington he wants to discuss the vulnerability of ERM currencies to speculative attack before returning sooner than planned on Monday. But one political figure's not waiting passively for the French vote. Lady Thatcher's also in Washington, and she'll be attacking European federalism later today. With the French referendum looking too close to call, neither the pro-Europeans or those who follow Lady Thatcher know what kind of Europe they'll be fighting over. But it's clear enough that John Major will be rebuilding his European policy in a crossfire of debate, whatever the French decide tomorrow.
Police are still questioning a man about the murder of Rachel Nickel. He's the 27th person to be held following her killing on Wimbledon Common last July. He was arrested yesterday, the day after a video fit diagram was shown on BBC television.
Scotland Yard received over 700 calls following the release of the video fit diagram on the BBC's Crime Watch programme. Detectives say 2 names were suggested by callers more than once as possible suspects in the murder. The man now being questioned by police was arrested around midday yesterday. Rachel Nickel, who was 23, was stabbed to death on Wimbledon Common 2 months ago while out walking with her 3-year-old son. Detectives believe the killer is from the Wimbledon area. So far, 26 men have been arrested and released in connection with the murder. Scotland Yard is refusing to say where the latest suspect is being held.
And that's it for the moment. There'll be more news at 5:05.
The new season on BBC One.
We used to pride ourselves, we were the toughest. The best fighting men.
You are born upon an earth which needs music.
It's my life. My lads.
You are born into a world where love rides wrong. Go and be brave. Oh, bless your soul that you alone can see. Their lives would never be the same. From the award-winning Linda LaPlante, Civvies begins on Tuesday at 9:30 on BBC One.
And here on Grandstand, we've got our first visit of the afternoon to Newbury in about half an hour's time. But I've spent the morning at Williams Engineering at Didcot, where Frank Williams has been reflecting on his failed negotiations
with the world champion Nigel Mansell, and we'll have his quite revealing views on that shortly after 2 o'clock. But now it's the last of our reports from the Paralympics that have now concluded in the Olympic city of Barcelona, from where Helen Rollison now reports.
Welcome back to Barcelona and the 9th Paralympics. Well, we're halfway through the athletics programme, and already 91 world records have tumbled out of a possible 144 events, which just goes to show how standards have soared over the last few years. But one of the most difficult records to smash is the 10,000 metres, and we join Stuart Story for the latter stages of that race.
Pilz of Germany leading, Fry of Switzerland in second place, Weiger of Canada in third, a little under 600 metres to go, and what a race this is turning out to be. Fry, of course, the gold medalist over 5,000 metres, hanging on in second place. The German Pilz has taken it on. He's fully committed now, and it's up to the rest. Bersek of Switzerland's also there, so is Sig. Coming up to 400 metres to go, and Pilz holding on. Fry in second place. 400 metres to go then, and the race really on, and 6 or 7 athletes here in with a real chance. On the outside, that's Bersek of Switzerland with a headband, in good position to strike now. Pilz still taking it on. Fry moving on to the outside. Weiger's trapped on the inside. He's going to have to get out from there if he's going to stand a chance here. Bersek, the Swiss, in 4th place at the moment. Then Sig, the other German, behind him. 200 metres to go now in this 10,000 metre final. And it's going to be down to the fastest sprinter. And Fry, remember, the marathon specialist on the outside, has gone very wide indeed. Pilz is coming through. So is Bersek with the headband. And here comes Weiger of Canada on the inside. Weiger takes it. And in second place is Fry, and Pilz in third, but that was very, very close. I'll just have a look at this for the finish. Marcus Pilz from Frankfurt on the inside did it absolutely right, but just had no answer to the finishing burst of Andre Weiger of Canada. Just holding off Fry of Switzerland. Good one. So there's confirmation of the result. Weiger, the Paralympic champion. From Fry, the silver medalist, and Pilz, the bronze medalist. So there's Paul Williams of Great Britain, the 27-year-old from the Notts Athletics Club, world record holder in the javelin in this C5 category. This is his second attempt, already leading with 37 metres and 38. Approach is good, really hits it hard here. And that is 40 metres, and the world record has gone. Grenfell of Great Britain, only 19 years old, his 4th attempt, his best so far 32 metres and 68, and following the world record at 40 metres and 4 set by Paul Williams. And that's a little better, as just short of 35 metres. He's in silver medal position with that, that's for sure. From Tynan Weir, accomplished junior international, celebrating that one. 36, 34, 64, he's in second. Let's have another look at it. Really attacks it, doesn't he? That's a new personal best. And the field event specialist in silver medal position. Thomas Beck of the United States, 36 years old. 4th attempt. Best so far, 30 metres and 12. And that's certainly better. It's around about 32 and a half, I would think. And that will put him in bronze medal position. Not a particularly quick approach, but he's got a very fast arm. Good low trajectory of the javelin. And it is. He's bronze medal position. Well, a young man bristling with confidence, Paul Williams, already set the world record at 40 metres and 4 centimetres in his second attempt. This is his 4th. Now, can he go better? Gold medal position. Oh, he hit that hard. Oh, it's way over 40 metres. The world record has been taken apart. How he enjoyed that. Just short of 43 metres by the look of it. 42 metres and 92 for the second time. The world record's gone. Confirmation, Paul Williams gold medal and world record distance. Grenfell of Great Britain the silver, Beck of the United States the bronze.
Yeah, I've trained a long time more on the javelin than ever, my discus and my shot. The technique is there for me. My legs are good for that. I've got a fast arm, a powerful upper body, which allows me to do that. And every time I throw my javelin, it just keeps going and going and going. It's not as good as what I wanted, but it's there. 3 world records, it's not bad.
I was going to say, that's good enough, isn't it? 3 world records in a night.
If you can break a world record, you might as well break it 3 times. I did that tonight. I'm quite happy.
Danny Gray of Great Britain goes in the first lane of this 800 metres, Den Lauritsen of Denmark, then Cody of the United States, Burgonji of Canada, Porcelletto of Italy, McClellan of Australia, O'Hare of Ireland, Lewis of Great Britain, and Walters of the United States. Gray, once again, the favourite.
In Seoul, everyone was racing with four-wheel chairs, which were designed completely differently. Now we're going for the more aerodynamic approach and basically following cycling as much as we can.
Talk about cycling, and Chris Baldwin, obviously, you saw win his gold medal. How much is that technology now being brought into the chairs?
We're using the materials that they use. We're going to the carbon fibre wheels. A lot of the French are using front and back wheels. I just have the one front wheel. And we're also using the same seating positions, where you're seating with your backside basically jacked up as high as you can, and your knees tucked underneath you, so you're very aerodynamic.
Do you feel now that you've got to go back and get a more updated version for your next season's training?
Yeah, I think so. I was looking at different chairs actually before the Paralympics, and I decided because of the amount of time it takes to get used to a chair that it wasn't worth it. But next season I'll be racing in a different position.
I mean, no stopping you then. I mean, you got 3 golds so far. We're hoping for a 4th.
Yeah, hopefully.
So Danny Gray, the inside lane. Inside Den Lauritsen of Denmark and Cody of the United States. And right on the outside, Tracy Lewis, second from the outside, in lane 8. Gone off very quickly indeed. So has Danny Gray, Cardiff athlete, right on the inside. Has dragged Den Lauritsen of Denmark with her. Danny Gray, of course, from Cardiff. Already 3 gold medals in these games. Medalist in the last Olympics and at the last World Championships. Full-time athlete, and my goodness me, it shows. Den Lauritsen in second place at the moment. Cody of the United States in third. Then Colette Burgonji of Canada. She's from Saskatoon, a teacher in the all-red strip in 4th place. Behind her is Tracy Lewis of Great Britain. And then Heather O'Hare of Ireland, and behind her is Porcelletto of Italy. It's a tactical first 400 metres, just a little less than the straight way to go before they hear the bell, and a little look up from Danny Gray there to look at the clock and to assess things. There's another little glance as well. And the time 66.68 for 400 metres. So now the real battle will begin. Great Britain first, Denmark second, America third. In 4th place is the Canadian, Burgonji. In the back straight, and up comes Ann Cody of the United States from the University of Illinois racing team. 4 silver medals, the American, in Seoul 4 years ago. The recreational therapist right up on the shoulder of Danny Gray. And this is a real battle now. The American going the long way round. Den Lauritsen holding 3rd place from Burgonji of Canada at the moment. And Cody coming past on the outside. Can Gray hold her off? Right on the inside, Den Lauritsen trapped for the moment. The rest strung out behind. And this now, less than 100 metres to go. Cody of the United States from Gray of Great Britain. In 3rd place, Den Lauritsen of Denmark. Then Burgonji of Canada. And Cody's going to come home for gold. Cody wins it. Gray in 2nd place. Den Lauritsen in 3rd. Then Burgonji. Then O'Hare. And then Porcelletto of Italy. What a performance, 2:06.07, and that's a Paralympic record. Well, what a performance by Danny Gray of Great Britain in these Paralympics. 3 golds and 1 silver. Well, sensational news, and Cody of the United States has been disqualified for braking too early in the back straight, so Gray gets her 4th gold, Lauritsen gets silver, Burgonji of Canada gets bronze.
It's not really the way I'd like to have done it, but the Americans know the rules on the track, so yeah, they're gold.
Danny, you're going home with 4 golds, 1 silver. It must be the best feeling in the world, I would have thought.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's a really good feeling. And now I've finished, I think it's all going to sink in what I've done.
In the 100 turned into gold in the 400 for 15-year-old Esther Cruz from Cleveland. Caroline Innes, the Scottish record holder, was out to make the final of the 100. She took gold. Bob Matthews, gold medalist for the last 2 games, set a new Paralympic record on his way to victory over 5,000. Sharon Bolton, the Highgate Harrier athlete, finished second in the 400. The name on the lips of all the Spanish supporters was Purification Santa Marta. 4 golds, 4 world records. Switzerland's Heinz Frey, marathon winner in a Paralympic record. The favourite, Connie Hansen of Denmark, was the first woman to finish, also in a Games record time. Honours too for Britain, with physiotherapy assistant Mark Farnell grabbing glory as the sun set. The standard of British judo is respected throughout the world, and partially cited Simon Jackson, who competes at top level against able-bodied players, leads the British challenge here. At the age of 20, he's already a European, world and Olympic champion.
As I say, I've not been beaten 5 years, so I still just wouldn't look good on the mantelpiece. In Seoul, the judo wasn't that strong, but because I was only a boy and I was 50 kilos fighting in the 60 kilos, it was a very, very tough event for me. But if I was, maybe say, if I was at the top of the weight in Seoul, it wouldn't have been as hard. But now, there's 6 or 7 players who could beat me, but hopefully I'll come out on top. I was going to have a go to the able-bodied team for Barcelona, but I thought I won't do it this year, and I'll go for the Paralympics just because I might get injured in the able-bodied. So I've just gone for the Paralympics this year, and hopefully Atlanta, I'll be going for both, but the Paralympics are still very, very important.
How realistic is that, really?
No, it's definitely a realistic chance. No danger. I mean, judo is such a close sport. It's very, very close to the able-bodied. And for me to get in the able-bodied team is not that... It's difficult. I've got to put the work in. But my coach thinks that I'm gifted enough and talented enough to progress onto the able-bodied team. And that's what I'd like to do, even if it's just for an international. I'm the first disabled person to break onto the able-bodied teams.
The competition began with 2 round-robin pools. Simon Jackson's first opponent was a Brazilian, Arnaldo de Oliveira, who eventually proved to be the weakest of the 5 fighters in this pool. The first visit to the mat, inconclusive. The second time, Jackson's floor work was swift and final. A stranglehold with the legs, and de Oliveira conceded. Ippon in 17 seconds, to the delight of Simon's mother and girlfriend. Ippon accounted for the next 2 opponents, and that left Maurizio Dalla Via from Italy. He's on the left with the red sash. Having already won 3 fights in a total of not much more than 2 minutes, Jackson was out for another quick victory. After the preliminary skirmishes, he found the answer with a well-timed leg and hip throw for Ippon after only 23 seconds. And that gave him a semi-final against the tough Japanese, Eiji Miyauchi. A series of minor successes had already put Jackson in front when Miyauchi decided that enough was enough. He wasn't fit enough, he said, to continue. The problem was a damaged elbow. Miyauchi had to be content with bronze. Jackson went on to fight for gold. Now his opponent was Mario Talavera from Las Palmas, inexperienced, but reckoned by his coaches to have genuine talent. What's more, he was the natural favourite of the crowd. Everyone loves a local hero. Jackson's response was a dramatically aggressive opening. Before Talavera had a chance to show his potential, he'd been turned on his back and held. In a brilliant display of agility and timing, Simon Jackson had taken the title with his quickest victory, Ippon in 7 seconds. The hold that he reserved for his girlfriend when they were reunited afterwards didn't come from the judo textbooks. And there'll be plenty more celebrating when that gold medal arrives back in Rochdale.
That's a Simon Jackson tactic, that in judo. As soon as the referee says a Jimmy, it starts, I attack. If I get a 3-point score, I'll still win the fight. If I get a 10-point score, it's over in 5 seconds. Just the way it goes.
Final action from Barcelona coming up in about 10 minutes' time. And don't forget, we're also hearing in detail from Frank Williams on Nigel Mansell. That's shortly after 2 o'clock. Before all of that, though, it's the first of our 4 races this afternoon from Newbury, just a few miles down from Frank's Didcot headquarters. I can confirm the size of the crowds, having been stuck in the traffic jam there some 90 minutes ago. 4 from Newbury, and we're also at the Curragh for the big race there, the 3:15, the National Stakes. But first of all, it's that 1:30, the Highclere Nursery Handicap, runners and riders from Peter O'Sullivan.
11 of them. Number 1 is Brig Fair, written by Richard Perham. 2, Petit de Paulette, Frankie Dettori. 3, Charity Express, Dean McEwen. 4, Bangles, Alan Munro. 5, Zany Zana, written by David Harrison. 6, Where's the Dance, Michael Roberts. 7, Second Chance, Darren Biggs. 8, Go Flightline, Jimmy Quinn. 9, Arrowgrove with Christopher Avery putting up 4 pounds overweight. 10 is Hallerina, Gary Bardwell. 11, Just Bailey's, Steve Dawson. Here's the betting.
And the clear favourite, Go Flightline, has opened at 4s and gone immediately to 7-2. Bangles, 9-2. Brig Fair, 6-1. Zany Zana, 13-2. On 10-1, Charity Express and Where's the Dance. Hallerina has gone from 10s to 12-1, and on 16s, 4 of them. Petit Paulette, Second Chance, Just Bailey's, and Arrowgrove has gone from 16s to 20-1. Incidentally, there's a change in the top order. Brig Fair has moved out from 6-1 to 13-2, and Zany Zana has come in from 7s to 13-2.
Good going at Newbury, and this is the deposed favourite Bangles. Very little rain overnight here, and this is a wide open nursery. There were 1 or 2 that are just starting to show form, move into best form, and others that have shown good form and are just tailing all. This filly's last run was her best. Bangles, she won a 5-furlong nursery at Newcastle. Zany Zana, who reposes her, finished 4th, beaten a length and a quarter, and Zany Zana is now 5 pounds better off, 7 pounds better off, I should say. But this filly, as I say, might be on the upgrade.
A nice filly, this, in fact, Julian. And when this is the time of year when most fillies are beginning to look a little bit dull in their coat, but not so this filly, Bangles. She looks a real picture in the paddock. I don't think I've ever seen her look better. And as you say, she's in cracking form at the moment. She should give Alan Monroe a really good ride here today. And, well, she's by Chili Bang. As I was saying, she really looks an utter picture.
Now the filly who's superseded her in the betting, now the clear favourite, is Go Flightline. Now this is another one on the upgrade. She's a chestnut filly by Common Grounds. There's not much of her, but she won her last race with plenty of tenacity, beat Mysterious Ways in a really hard-fought battle on soft ground at Lingfield just 10 days ago, last Tuesday. And I think the handicapper might have taken a bit of a chance with her, giving her only 8 stone 3 on that ball.
She looks well bought. She only cost her 9,000 Irish punt as a yearling. Jimmy Quinn's in the saddle, and Jimmy's had a good time with 36 wins.
Now, there's a little bit of a problem there with Just Bailey's, Steve Dawson's mount. I'm not quite sure what the problem is. The adjustments to the tack are occurring. There's the tight line again. Out of Jimmy Quinn. Brig Fair, the top weight, has been dismounted by Richard Perham. Now this is another horse who's come to his best form in the last week. He won a valuable nursery at Doncaster last Saturday. That was over 6 furlongs. He's back to 5 today. I think he's waited for the hill.
A lot of weight with 9 stone 7, but he does get the benefit of Richard Perham's £3. That is Richard. He's a very, very good rider too. Apprentice to Richard Hannon, who he's riding for here today. Quite a big type of animal, Brig Fair. So, as you say, a lot of weight, Julian, but could be up to carrying it. Coming out of stall 4.
Richard Hannon once again, runners all over the place today. Just a handful short of 900 runners already this season. Isn't it amazing? This is Zany Zana. She's a filly who's been a little bit unpredictable in the past. She dropped Nicky Carlisle in the paddock one day at Sandown, so she's a little bit volatile, but Gavin Pritchard-Gordon's done really well with her. He won 4 races in a row with her, starting with a cellar at Folkestone, and then went on to nurseries at Goodwood and Redcar. She might possibly be over her peak, though, because she didn't run up to her best form in her last run at Doncaster behind Falsula.
She looks well bought, Julian. She cost 4,600 Irish print. She's by Pretorius. And she's also got David Harrison in the saddle. David now claims 3 pounds, just come down from 5 to 3, and he's riding with great confidence.
Zany Zanna carrying the colours of Gavin's brother, Giles Pritchard Gordon. There's Gary Bardwell on Hallerina. Now, this is another filly who had good form just a couple of months ago. In fact, she won 3 races in a row for her joint owners and joint breeders, Bill Whiteman and Mrs. Judith Thompson, on the Lavant Nursery at Goodwood, in fact. But she has been below form in her last 2 runs.
She looked well in the paddock, though. She's a little bit warm. She's getting down at the start. She's 12s from 10s, but it's nice to see Bill Whiteman coming up with some winners this season. He's probably, I think he's our senior trainer on the flat, and well, he still knows how to train one. He still knows how to pick one as well.
Yeah, I remember him having runners the first time I ever came to Newbury in 1953. Jimmy, ridden by somebody called W. Anderson. Do you remember him?
No, not quite, but I rode for Bill myself many times, Julian, and he's a great man to ride for. He never blames you. Always, in fact, he blames himself if things go wrong, but lovely man to ride for. He says once you know an animal, you don't need any orders. You know how to ride it. It's nice to see Gary Bardwell doing well too now. He's ridden 27 winners so far, and, well, one of our strongest lightweights.
Yes, Gary's one of my favourites. He broke a long losing run yesterday. Let's hope he's got the wind behind his sails. But this filly, Hallerina, when fillies do lose their form at this time of year, they don't tend to recover it. And she's just a little bit fidgety today. Already in the stalls is Where's the Dance in the hoop colours. The left of those two we look, usually ridden by Michael Roberts. Well, it's written by Michael Roberts today. Now, she had good form in the summer. She was second to East Liberty in a 7-furlong maiden at Sandown, but her last 2 runs have been disappointing. She was unfaced in the race won by Falsula, a Donkster, which Zany Zanna also ran.
Standing nice and quietly, coming out of stall 3. I think, in fact, the draw may be a little bit of an advantage to the higher numbers, but, well, we'll have to wait and see how they run at the first race.
7 to 2 Go Flightline, 5 to 1 Bangles, 6 to 1 Briggs Fair. That's it, Peter.
Under orders, and they're away. Bangles towards the left, right up there with them. Second Chance is in the front row too, as they begin to settle down. Petit Depaulette is right up there, and also Hallerina. Hallerina and Petit Depaulette and Second Chance. Then Bangles towards the left of the picture. Arrow Grove just behind the leaders. Second Chance just about the leader in the centre with Petit Depaulette. Then Arrow Grove coming to join these. Making good progress towards the stand side is Charity Express. Brig Fair also improving well. And Brig Fair just comes to take it up now, and it's Brig Fair now has taken it up. Zany Zanna producing a run over on the far side, but Brig Fair with the advantage, being chased by Bangles and Zany Zanna. And Brig Fair's going to win it comfortably at the line. Brig Fair is the winner. Zany Zanna is second. Third is Bangles, and 4 is Arrow Grove. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 4 in this Highclere nursery. First, the top weight, number 1, Brig Fair, owned by Mr. John Norman, another for Richard Hannon, and written by Richard Perham. Second was number 5, Zany Zanna, owned by Mr. Giles Pritchard Gordon, trained by Gavin Pritchard Gordon, and written by David Harrison. Third was number 4, Bangles, owned by Mr. John Rose, trained by Lord Huntingdon, written by Alan Munro. And fourth, number 9, Arrow Grove.
Number 133 for Richard Hannon, and he's come from off the pace. That's him 4 from the left, as you can see. Richard Perham looking for daylight there, behind the Petit Depaulette, and Bangles keeping him in. Bangles 3 from the left there, look to have a good chance, as the early leader, Second Chance in the centre, struggling. Look right away to the right, and you see Zany Zanna under strong pressure and making good headway. But now the gap comes for Richard Perham, and the top weight bursts through, and he's got the race won in a few strides.
I think, Julian, too, the ground probably is a little bit faster just towards this side to the stands, you see there, because when Brig Fair is asked by Richard Perham to go and win his race, he really lengthens, he holds his stride together really well. Zany Zanna, as you can see, she just drifts a bit towards the stands rail. As you say, she was right over on the far side, but what a performance this. 9.70 to 1 without Richard Perham's £3 allowance, so this is a good performance. The handicapper's going to clobber him next time.
And Brig Fair, the 13-2 winner of the opener here at Newbury this afternoon, featuring the Rugby Farm Mill Reef Stakes, the Coral Autumn Cup and the Courage Stakes. Meanwhile, here now the full starting prices.
First number 1, Brig Fair, 13-2. Second, number 5, Zainizana, 7-1. Third, number 4, Bangles, 5-1.
Courage Stakes next for us at 2 o'clock. And remember, we've also got Frank Williams on Nigel Mansell shortly after 2, when we also hope to be talking live to Mansell's new IndyCar boss, Carl Haas, in America. But in the meantime, more from the Paralympics, notably the soccer semi-final that had Great Britain against Portugal. We hear from Gerald Sinster.
All the early pressure coming from Portugal. It's a remarkable thought that if they were to get through this to the final, before that match, 4 members of this squad would have to run in the sprint relay. It's Machado. Oh, good effort, good save too. Well struck shot, but a good save from Chris Heaps. Only just 18, the youngest member of this squad. Shot wasn't properly cleared, and Machado saw his chance very quickly. Very well-timed save by Chris Heaps. Now, Britain in first there. Darren Rabin, but he's lost possession. Mario Santos, what can he do here? He's brought down, penalty. Referee didn't really think twice about it. Chris Hampshire it was, the number 6, who brought him down. Mario Santos celebrates. It's a curious sort of ball that came through to him. Flicked up off his heel and then his shoulder. He really didn't know where it was, but once he turned, the challenge was difficult for Hampshire. And I don't think it was malicious, it was more clumsy than anything, but yes, he got him with the right leg first before he played the ball, and the penalty decision, quite right. Oh, good save! Jose Diaz struck it well. Chris Heaps went to his left, still managed to stick out a leg. Well, the youngster was a bit lucky there, but the moral for goalkeepers is make as big a target as you can. He just managed to kick it away and then scramble around for the second save. Early ball here could be a problem. Santos Correa. Keith Gardner's challenge. Santos Correa is away. Chance to shoot. He's just wide. Good break by Correa. Saw the target, nearly hit it. Who'll be first to this? Whistle's gone. Jose Diaz and Darren Rabin challenging on. Diaz can't really believe that the free kick's been given against him. It was a bit 50-50, but the referee has to decide one way or the other. So it'll be Rabin with his left foot to curl one. Oh, and a good header from Hampshire against the bar. Still a chance here for Leach if he can get it back in. That's not a good clearance. Now Rabin's coming round on it again. He wanted to check back on that left foot and took too long. But a chance going begging here in extra time. It's beginning to look like penalties. Well, 8 penalties, 4 apiece and no goals. Let's see if Charles Cardoso can do better here. Yes, he can. Chris Heaps knew where it was going, and I may even have got fingertips to it, but Cardoso has put Portugal 1-0 in front. Bad luck for the keeper. Portuguese think they've got it wrapped up now, but Keith Gardner may have something to say about that. No! Saved by the goalkeeper, and Gardner is distraught, but the referee has ruled this out. Now, Patrick Smith, a British referee, I'm not sure he should have been put in the position of refereeing a game like this in a semi-final, but he's decided that the goalkeeper moved. And Gardner gets a second. Oh, he was absolutely right. The goalkeeper was a yard off his line when the ball was struck. So Gardner gets a second chance. And a reprieve. Don't think he struck that one as well, but it went in, and that's what matters. Well, when you look at it again, it was a very well struck penalty. So it's 1-1. Now it's sudden death. Helder Texeira, the number 10. Yes, 2-1, and the pressure back on Great Britain. A place in the final at stake, and Texeira has put Portugal in front. Mark Leach, number 11 for Great Britain, got pressure on him. Saved! And Portugal go through to the final on penalties. Britain compete for the bronze.
It's not the way I'd like to go out at all. Terrible. It's the way the game was played, penalties shutting down towards the end. It's one of those things. We gave it all at the time.
But Portugal, in a thrilling final, lost to the Netherlands 3-2. The bronze eluded Britain against Ireland. It was a close call for the Americans against the Dutch in the basketball final, a 3-point victory for the States. More success for America on the tennis court. Randy Snow. Double Dutch final for the women, a straight sets victory for Monique van der Bosch. The final of the sitting volleyball was a repeat of the World Championships. No revenge for Holland though, 3-1 for Iran. Germany retained their Olympic title, beating Poland in the standing volleyball. In goalball, Paola Martini was the star for Italy, 2-1 to beat Finland. Finland won the women's event. In table tennis, Neil Robinson of Bridgend won an individual silver and also went home with gold from the team event. Team gold too for the American athlete and her coach, who went up the aisle in style at the Paralympic Village. I shouldn't think those two are too worried about what's going on in the swimming pool, but it is the pinnacle of the swimming programme tonight. And incredibly, Chris Holmes is going for his 6th gold medal in the 100 metres freestyle. What he doesn't know is that his Birmingham teammate and bronze medalist in the Olympics just a few weeks ago, Nick Gillingham, is here to see him achieve that goal. Well, Nick, very good to have you here. What's it like to be back now?
Oh, real pleasure to be back. It obviously brings back many, many memories and emotions.